Hey everybody, this is James.
And this is Denny from TeaDB bringing you guys episode 290. Got some ripe Pu'erh.
Yeah. So this is some very fancy ripe Pu'erh that Scott sells. It is made by Hailang Hao. It's from definitely a material that would normally be used for raw Pu'erh. My tea friend Peter sent me some.
Cool.
So thank you, Peter. And the area this is from is actually an Iwu area. It's called Yishanmo. So yeah, let's
great.
see how it is. Yeah.
And what's our year?
2017 is when it was pressed. The material might be from earlier. I'm not actually totally positive. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's pressed into a big old brick. I think it's 500 grams, maybe even be a kilo.
There you go.
And that brick costs a few $100.
There you go.
So.
Smells great. And I'm gonna double rinse.
Yeah. And Denny, you told me you have been drinking some more ripe lately.
I have been,
right?
yeah.
'Tis the season.
It is. Been really enjoying it, yeah. Because it's not yet burrow into a cave raw Pu'erh winter season yet. So
Soon.
not that that's like stopped you at all.
Yeah.
It's like 90 degrees outside. You're like, I love tea.
This is great.
It's where the hard work happens. But no, I've been drinking a lot more ripe, and I just find it to be like really delicious. And I've been enjoying the category and trying to find some stuff that's different inside. So maybe have some of those on the show in the near future here. But
Right.
I always love coming back to my ripe Pu'erhs, and yeah, it really is for me kind of a seasonal thing.
Okay. So
good.
you're not drinking ripe so much in summer.
I'm not as much.
Okay.
I'd say that as like it gets colder, my tendency to go to like bitterer and more potent flavors increases.
Okay.
So green oolongs and white teas and some black teas in the winter or in the summertime, excuse me, which can transition into more
Got it.
Pu'erh later on. Especially when you need that little extra kick because there's only like 5 hours of sunlight,
Yeah.
Anyway, cheers. Very creamy. A light sweetness to it.
Would you say the smell is different from average ripe at all? No, not too much?
Not too much.
Okay.
It's a little extra cherry
Mm-hmm.
compared to some of the other ones, but I'm not actually tasting that quite as much, so. No. Too much. Ooh.
Getting darker and darker.
Yes.
And for ripe, that's not necessarily a bad thing at all, actually.
It really isn't. These teas just will get a little bit bolder, but they really don't get more astringent.
Yeah.
It's going to matter more about just using too much material at that point. It's going to be this like pitch black syrupy thing going on, which you can still drink. Like,
Yeah.
It's not have some food in your stomach, but you can still drink that stuff. It just is not going to be quite as pleasurable as something that's like a little bit more even keeled like this.
Yeah.
The viscosity of this tea is really great right now. Good material overall, nice and clean.
Yeah. So this one's brewing up darker, but it's not like the darkest ripe I've ever seen.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Some sort of grainy, sweet graininess coming from me.
I think it doesn't taste. So, if this were aged, it would taste very different. It does still taste young to me, I'd say.
Yeah.
But not that it's undeveloped. It just does taste young and sweet still.
Yeah.
Some of the earthiness comes out in these ripe Pu'erhs when they get a little older. It's really good right now.
Would you say that this tea sort of fits into that cherry, sweet, ripe Pu'erh category?
On the nose more than the cup.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. There's like a really lovely creaminess of this for sure. Vanilla a little bit, and
I'd say that for me at least, it's on the brighter side of ripe. At least little more high notes for a ripe tea. That is. It's not like all dark, earthy woodiness. One thing I did notice is that the tea itself, it's pressed into a brick and it's pretty compressed.
Right.
So we might be getting a little bit of delayed gratification for some of these.
I think so.
You rinsed it twice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. The liqueur is brewing up really deep and beautiful, and it's it's kind of to our advantage because this is going to continue to. Whereas if it had been not pressed enough, it would be a little bit too strong and then weak. This is going to kind of have like a nice evolution,
Right.
as a result of the pressing. But you're right. Just in the cup, even now, it's still pressed enough where you're not seeing a ton of volume here lifted up. The leaves themselves also are look like they're quite small.
Yeah, they do.
And pretty homogeneous in terms of the roast. It looks like on all these things processing. Give that a smell.
Yeah.
Really great. Just classic brandy cherries smell.
One thing I am noticing too is that the aftertaste seems to be a little bit better, a little bit more on the back of the mouth, just sort of lingering. Yeah.
Yeah. This tea tastes like just nice and rich and delicious already.
Yeah.
Whereas I think it would be maybe take some time for something a little bit lesser quality to get to something like this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's probably just the material speaking for itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good texture.
Yeah, that's exactly. One of the best parts of these teas is just how silky and just physically speaking, purely from a physical perspective, drinking the tea feels good. It's got a wonderful viscosity and
totally agree.
Depth to it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first steep I think I've really noticed that texture picking up. That's sort of like, as you describe it, silky. I think that's right on.
And I think it's getting a little bit deeper and bolder now. I think some of those high notes. Did I ever steep the water?
I'm
doing
so.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, steeping numero. Well, this will be our fourth.
Yeah,
drink.
with 2 rinses, and we have some reboiled water, so
Indeed.
we're gonna get some good heat on this guy. And yeah, it looks like a similar shade of red, black.
Exactly. We don't want it to get too much darker than this, really. But yeah, it has just a really great, nice, dark, deep, kind of maroon.
Yeah. How do you think ripe does on the mom test in general, and how do you think this compares to like your replacement level ripe as far as?
Generally speaking, it's probably not the average consumer's favorite profile. I really like it. I think it will depend, maybe more than something like a raw Pu'erh. I think it's more kind than that, certainly.
Right. For you, was it an acquired taste?
No.
Yeah.
But I also like black coffee and
funky things.
Yeah. So I'm probably, but I think this is like a. So with that being said, though, to answer your second question, this tea itself is so smooth that I could see people drinking it and being like, "Oh, this is different, but I like it."
Yeah.
There's a vanilla-ness to this. It's not the interesting flavors aren't abrasive. There's nothing unbalanced or harsh about it. So yeah, I think it'd be a pretty friendly tea. I'm not sure that most people would like it though.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's definitely a ripe tea. This one might be better than average at like sort of like your mom test. But ripe, I don't know. It can be very difficult to predict if people like it or not. But for me, it's always been a solid tea.
So to come back to this tea in particular, the texture on this was really just noteworthy.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, so silky. It feels good to drink in some sense. Oily and
That's one of my favorite things with some of these ripe teas. I think it shows up disproportionately on the smaller leafed ones. But yeah, it's just like that really nice texture of it, and sort of just like a juicy mouthfeel.
Yeah. And now that these leaves have really expanded all the way, I think we're kind of deep into the heart of these steepings. And something of quality like this will brew out for quite a bit of time still.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, it might not have quite as many high notes. We'll be losing those probably sooner rather than later, but it's still going to have plenty of that sort of vanilla sweetness, and the texture will slowly dissipate, but it's definitely worthwhile to keep drinking this.
Yeah.
These will go for a while.
It's interesting too. Raw pu'erh has a reputation of being hard on the stomach. In my opinion, ripe is much easier. One thing I noticed when we did visit Scott is that, like, in the morning he would brew a lot of ripe, and then like as the day went on and we had more food in our gut, he'd switch over to the strong stuff that he would brew for quite a while. Ripe, I think, for me, is a tea that I could have just about any point of time in the day.
I do. Yeah. Of all teas, it's the one tea that for me I can reliably drink on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's particularly friendly in that regard. And just for Scott's credit, if you've watched any of his YouTube videos, he's he's better about it on his YouTube videos about, like, not sitting there for 10 minutes while making a really interesting point. So shout out to Scott. We love you.
Yeah, I think we were the original videos for his, so he probably took a little bit to get used to.
Indeed. His setup is really good now. He's got like a high quality camera and everything.
Yeah. His dog shows up now and then.
And check out Scott's YouTube. We'll link it or not. I don't know. Probably won't link it. Not because we don't love you, Scott. Just because
we probably will forget.
We'll forget. We'll forget. Let's be realistic. But anyway, this is definitely a worthwhile pick for sure. So, speaking of which, folks should go and check this out. Look. Some of these teas we bring on the show, they're not cheap. They're a treat, and they'd be good for a group buy or to get in touch with someone else who has a lot of this tea. Yeah, or grab a sample just to give it a shot.
Yeah.
This is one of those teas that I think would be a worthwhile investment too.
Could be, yeah. So buy a sample of this, buy a cake of something a little cheaper. That's probably what I would do. And you can compare them and see if you really notice the quality difference.
Totally.
Yeah.
Get introduced to ripe pu'erh first before you try something on like this.
Yeah. I think some of the nuances might be a little tricky for someone really new to pick up on, and they might just say, "Oh, this is pretty expensive." But I think it's pretty obviously good quality, though.
Totally. Yeah. In particular, the smoothness and velvetiness of the core, and it's just delicious. I love drinking ripe pu'erh too. So, if you folks want to check out more ripe pu'erh on the internet, unfortunately, there's no more left.
Yeah.
Sorry. So
this was the last sip.
the last cup.
Yeah.
But check us out on TeaDB.org. Blah, 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 blah. Fast plugs, all that stuff. Subscribe.
Check out Scott's site, Yunnan Sourcing.
Check out Scott's site, of course.
Yeah. All kinds of teas on there.
Yeah, so much to choose from. This is if you want to hone in, you can check out our... you can probably just search in YouTube under our channel for Yunnan Sourcing or YS, and you'll be able to find a lot of tea that we've brought onto the show from them. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're almost at 300 episodes.
Yeah, let us know what we should do for 300.
Indeed. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.